We are bonded by the pursuit of the wish, the edge, the victory. These mighty emotions become a life of their own. Yet, nested inside this competitive manifesto is a powerful balance. The cutthroat requires to win, and the authentic celebration of peer brilliance. This is our strength. This is how we got here. This team of us. This is how we carve the future. Own the glory. Experience the rush. We share this power of lead to inspire the power of lead.
Day 4 of 4, or as we like to call it in the booth, Quattro. We're about to sit in one more time, Mike. We've got, well, we don't need to tell you about the weather. All you got to do is just go. Hey, it's snowing. Shocker. Jimmy Coben here in the group alongside Mike. Well, that DC guy, we just had to send him packing down I-70, so his grill's up there hanging out for a second. Welcome to the party, Ashley. So, not to sound like a broken record. Sound like a broken record out here. And guess what? It's snowing. There's no way you're going to talk about the weather again, Mike.
Well, it certainly has had a very big impact on this week's competition. All sorts of schedule changes. We were supposed to have a Slopestyle qualifier. Unfortunately, it did not happen. And then moving into final contest today, because of safety and speed due to the weather, we're going to do what we did with the women's snowboarding and just elect to have a big rail competition over on the Slopestyle course.
So basically, you get all the rail features at the top, so it's going to be a technical competition out here today, so unfortunately we don't get to use the jumps. However, we just saw the performance that went down on the snowboard side on the women's field, so we're hoping to make more of that magic as we close out our fourth and final day here. And what a great week it's been overall. I mean, we've been doing this for years and years and years, just down the road. But Copper Mountain, hats off to you. You guys really had your show out here and really rolled on the red carpet. The fireworks last night, that was a nice little touch that caught us off guard when we were having dinner.
Yeah, we enjoyed a nice meal last night at 10 Mile. The fireworks were alive. This really could have gone the other way if this was just a wind incident all week. But it wasn't the case. All the snow really fueled the snow for what seems to be the new home for Winter Dew Tour here at Copper Mountain.
Well, we teased up a new member of our crew since DC had to hit the road. Let's check in with her now. Ashley, what do you got going on here before we kick off this women's final?
You guys, I'm with the future of the Dew Tour. Everyone, this is Summit Lynch. She lives down in Netherlands. This is not your first Dew Tour. Summit, how many times have you been here before?
I think 3.
And tell me about the signatures that you have.
I don't know, I just have a lot.
Whose bib are you wearing right now?
Danny Davis.
And who designed your helmet?
Right here.
Okay. And what do you love about the Dew Tour?
I don't know, I just...
Do you want to compete at the Dew Tour?
Yeah.
Tell me what tricks you're working on right now.
A grab and a 180.
A grab and a 180. And how old are you?
8.
And when did you start snowboarding?
21 months.
When he was 21 months. Grab honor. I tell you what, future of the Dew Tour right here. Summit Lynch, everybody. He's so super rad, all decked out. I bet we're going to see him here in just a couple years. Back up to you guys.
You want to see a Mike Atkinson autograph on
What
that bit
a
right
little
there.
ripper right there. Summit Lynch, first of all, one of the most badass names we've heard all week. Summit Lynch, you are the man dropping in.
Get an agent stacked.
It's funny how Summit touched on some of the judging criteria. He's working on that 180 and the grabs. That could be a key component here in progression in this slopestyle competition. Will we we see some of that progression, that innovation here from these women as we get set to drop in. 3 chances they'll have, Jim, the best run counting, and it's still anybody's ballgame.
Well, we'll talk more about the comp format and the conditions out here and what's going to be available on this shortened course out here today. But it's our last event of the weekend as the snow continues to fall. So stick around, everybody. We've got our final event of the weekend. It's Women's Ski Slopestyle Final coming up when we come back.
If you want to get better, perhaps you're just starting out and want to learn some basic tricks, or you're already an accomplished skateboarder and you want to fine-tune your craft. I feel that I can help you do that. After countless years of skateboarding, being a pro for the better part of my entire life, I saw people just beginning all the way to the top pros in our industry today. I want to share all that knowledge with you. I'm Chris Cole. Welcome to Stomp Sessions.
Inside all of us are 2 people. One says I can't, and one that says I can. Performance SST, with time-release technology for energy, focus, and boosted metabolism. With the best team around. Performance SST, now available.
Come on, wherever you are. Mountain Dew Zero Sugar, same refreshing taste as the original. Without any of the sugar. Here's Mountain Dew Zero.
I'm thirsty.
Get started, make sure you stop by the Dew Tour Experience while you're out there. Stop by the Performance SST booth. The masseuse is in. Get your complimentary 15-minute massage at the Performance SST tent. Did you go by and do that?
Oh, but I should.
Don't let that rub you the wrong way, sir. Go get your 15-minute massage there. For those competitors not making it to the finals or athletes in the crowd, 10 barrels, hella big air is scheduled here at Copper Mountain on March 7th. He's got a $20,000 cash prize purse, that Mike. That's split between male and female competitors. If you're not doing any March 7th, come on back down to this game. I'll meet you. Hang out and make a weekend out. Sounds like a great time. All right, so if you're thirsty, stop by the ProTech booth for... I don't know what a chance to win a free helmet has to do with quenching your thirst.
Can we redo that?
Hey, I don't write the copy, I just read it. So apparently somehow when you live, you can quench your thirst and protect your noggin all in the same coating.
Maybe you should get that.
You know what? It's my first day of the job. Don't mind me.
Jimmy Coleman.
Things get a little goofy at the end of the weekend. Head on over to the Mountain Dew Base Camp to sample select flavors of ice cold Mountain Dew. There we go. Now we're getting to the first part of this problem. Mountain Dew Game Fuel and new Mountain Dew Zero Sugar, as you've seen our friend Ryan Cranston promoting there on that commercial all weekend long. Dew and Toyota, the official vehicle of Dew Tour. Stop by one and find out how to win a brand new Toyota Tacoma or a Burton snowboard. They're not going to help you with the first one, but you can get a Burton snowboard.
Well, excellent read there, Jimmy.
Over the Thirst Village.
Our file is beginning. Well, we're just about underway here. Keeping an eye on that weather. I think we still have a little more snow in the forecast.
Well, let's get out the phone here. Let's check the top, shall we, Mike?
There we go.
Oh, hey, there we go. So it's snowing and more is on the way here. That could pose a problem if you're trying to fly out of Denver tonight or tomorrow or what time's your flight, Mike? When are you getting out here?
Well, I'm supposed to head out tomorrow at 10:30 to Denver.
Might be okay. The winter storm advisory expires at midnight tonight.
I certainly don't mind if there's any kind of day I can hunker down in this beautiful little valley known as Copper Mountain.
You know what? We can stop by the 10 Barrel booth. We can hang out over there. Take a little stroll through the Duke's experience. Hang out. You'll watch some highlights on the weekend as we take a look at the course here. The Slopestyle course, which will be in play out here in your competition this afternoon from what we're being told.
Well,
maybe it will.
Yeah.
Hold on, phone.
Hot off the press.
Is it your news ticker sound?
Yeah.
So I like it. You're high tech.
We've had a weekend of changes and modifications, and it looks as if the women are trying out that first jump, seeing if they have the speed that they need to complete the slopestyle course with the jumps. So kudos to all the ladies for stepping up here. We'll see, again, safety the number one priority. All that new snow on the course, it's a soft course, so it slows the course down. So you have to make sure, again, these women traveling over 60 feet from the top of the jump just to get to the landing. And any kind of misfire of speed could spell disaster.
Well, we'll have to see how that all pans out here over the span of the next 15 minutes. We're looking at a 2:30 start time, so we pushed it. So we're going to take a little breather here, Mike, and wait and see what happens as they test the course. This is a perfect moment for you to go over to the Performance SST booth. Go get your
To double down on.
okay, there you go. You've got, well, you've only got 10 minutes, so we need you back here. You got to call some trick here.
Just remotely.
In a little bit. So stop by the 10 Barrel booth, grab yourself a sample, go see your friends over there at the Bullet Bourbon Tent. Official whiskey sponsor out here at the Dude Tour, but make sure you're back here at 2:30, and we'll let you know if we're going for the rails or we're using the full course out here. Women's ski, slopestyle final.
sheer persistence and power. Alex Burrow has taken the win.
We have to have a kind of no-care attitude.
You really have to put down a clean run and be perfectionist.
Interesting. My strategy.
Do the crazy tricks you can do when you're running something you don't.
I think it's going to take some creativity. Maybe some of the tricks you've never done because you haven't hit that feature ever before. He's not getting some crazy moves here.
At the end of the day, you got nothing to lose, so put it on the line and see what happens.
The key is making sure you're fearless. I gotta get my
Welcome to Stomp Sessions. Become a member to learn from us, and we'll share our deep insights to learning skills.
To becoming an athlete and the mindset it takes to get to where you want. And the secrets it takes to equipment like a pro.
Members get access to over 40 tutorial videos.
And pro analysis on your personal videos to help you improve. We're here to help you get better faster. What are you waiting for? Let's go.
Safely is bringing every day. Crispy, juicy, delicious. We're cutting fresh, so you don't have to. Slicing fresh in store. Icing, baking, and flower bouquet making. At Safeway, this we do fresh. Come and get it.
If you want to get better at skateboarding, perhaps you're just starting out and you want to learn some basic tricks, or you're already an accomplished skateboarder and fine-tune your craft. I feel that I can help you do that. I'm Chris Cole. Welcome to Stomp.
Come out, come out, wherever you are. Got new Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Same refreshing taste as the original. Without any of the sugar. Here's Mountain Dew Zero.
I'm thirsty.
A little freaked out by that Mountain Dew commercial right there with Ryan Cranston playing evil twins right there with a sea of dew coming out of the elevator.
Playing with my emotions.
See right there, that's some scary stuff. However, now I'm thirsty for Mountain Dew. You can probably find those around here. Yeah, figure that out. You know, I think send somebody a text. Hey, so we are now getting some updates as to what we're going to do here in this final contest, and we are understanding that it is going to be rails only. We are not going to use the jumps. The women in the field are going to give it a test and see how it's going to. They decided no, in the interest of safety, we're going to the rails. So I ask you, Mr. Atkinson, how change the face of the competition, your strategy, if you will, going into this, knowing that it's rails?
Well, we're certainly going to see a lot of difficulty on these rails, 270s, 450s, different ways of getting on and off the rails, as well as the switch up, meaning that when you get onto the rail with the right foot, facing the shoulders down the hill, switch up, get that left foot, that's a switch up. The other way, if you get the backside switch up. So there's all kinds of tricks that these women can throw down. These women's? Plural? Okay, cool. So, the big opportunity here.
Is this how we're going to be for the next hour?
I hope we can get a little bit of this, Jimmy. The good people attend around here and you can see a show and certainly don't need us to mess it up. But there's a big opportunity right now because certainly the favorite, Kelly Silver, is on the sidelines. She has by far the most technical game on the rail department. Really opens up the field here. As well, we're just heard that Sarah Hoffman suffered an injury in training, so unfortunately we won't see Sarah as well, but we gotta talk about Johanna Kelly and Matilda, who threw down in the women's street style contest last night. Johanna had the big front swap transfer the pretzel 270 out. So that was the trick of the night last night. That was enough to take the gold medal in the women's street style competition. As we take a look at some of those elements that make up the overall impression variety, a complete repertoire of tricks. That's right. So left and right spins. How are they getting off? And it has to be executed. The other little thing that we'll have to keep an eye on, Jim, is the speed factor. I think cruising through the rails and utilizing speed for stability, slowing it down, getting onto that rail nice and early, and completing the rail entirely.
Well, the snow has subsided a little bit for now, so that should help out just a tad bit from what we saw earlier on the women's snowboard. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, you saw that weather graphic that we put up earlier, and it just kind of, it dips in and it dips out, and that's just kind of been the name of the game out here all day long, that winter weather until about midnight tonight. So we're going to have 3 runs out here. We have 3 runs out here today, so they're going to try to do their best here on the rail section of things to try to showcase their skills and hopefully stand on the podium out here today. And as you mentioned, Kelly Silver out of the mix here. Your defending champ from 2018 just got a little banged up on the rail section over on some challenge today. Maybe a pre-injury coming into this, but she decided to take herself out of the competition. Here today, we keep pumping it all weekend long, but she's still in that this weekend. Due to her app, you can get up-to-the-minute schedule updates, and there's some cool content on there with the athletes, and there's some cool after they get done with each one of the competitions out here. They get some cool video pieces and edit those things down. There's all lines up on the app. And hang on to that. You're gonna need it because you got Day Tour Long Beach coming up in the summertime. If you're into the little skateboard side of things, that app comes in handy. So we'll just download it for the weekend. Hang on to it. Come out, join us for the party at the summer Day Tour out there in Long Beach. If you're into skateboarding, and join the party out there. There you go. You got live results. There's all kinds of social media stuff. You got tickets to merch there, and VIP stuff. All kinds of good stuff going on that app, and it's free. So just get in there to your the app store. This just did. I'm stealing a ticker noise right there. Long Beach is a little earlier this year. Hang on, I don't think that has anything to do with daylight savings time. However, they're just going to put that one up a skosh in the schedule due to there's this little thing going on called daylight breaks. Maybe I've heard of it. Skateboarding and BMX are in for the first time ever in the Olympics this year. And well, the Long Beach Dew Tour last year was the first chance to get global qualifying points for skateboarding. And they're going to have men's and women's street and park. So Dew Tour Long Beach moves up a little earlier in the schedule this year because that's going to be one of the last point qualifiers for skateboarding to get you in to compete in the Tokyo Games, which happens the end of July. So,
folks, it's like commentating with Wikipedia. I mean, just a plethora of knowledge.
Well, it's the world. I'm on the Washington, so I'm excited that my people are finally in the champ there, man. Well, they don't have birds, so I mean, I'm kind of happy, but they got park. It's a good time. It's really cool because Long Beach last year, it was awesome. There were so many people that came out of the woodwork to compete in that thing. So many men and female athletes from all across the globe. It was really a good time. And if you want to participate and be part of that party and join us in the summer edition, well, that's another reason to keep that app where you can always join us on the web over there at dewtour.com to find out more about the schedule and how to get yourself some tickets. The trip to California is nice.
I just wanted to say, we only get to link up here, but it is always a pleasure to work with you and get your insight. You certainly have a passion for all these sports. So, certainly great to have you here at the Dew Tour, continuing that plan forward in what only can be an exciting day 4, the final day here at Copper, but again, moving into the summer events.
Thank you, Mike. This is very nice work.
We are bonded by the pursuit of the rush. These mighty emotions become a life of their own. Yet, nested inside this competitive manifesto is a powerful balance of the cutthroat requirement to win and the authentic celebration of pure brilliance. This is our strength. This is how we got here. This team of us. This is how we carve the future, own the glory, experience the rush. We share this power of we to inspire the power in you.
Welcome to Copper Mountain, Colorado. This is Dew Tour 2020 as we get set for the women's ski slopestyle. Alongside 4-time Dew Tour champion Tom Wallish, I am Todd Harris, and it is quite the day out today. Mother Nature having her say in the competition as we have had 37 inches of snow fall in the last 72 hours, 5 fresh inches just this morning. So the workers out trying to clear the course, make things safe for the world's best athletes here at Dew Tour 2020. And Tom, that changes things up just a bit, but it has been an epic week so far.
Absolutely amazing week. We had a beautiful sunny day yesterday, but you spoke to it. So much powder earlier. We all had a powder day on Friday, but a little bit more snow today, so I don't know what that's going to do.
All right, for a little more on the conditions, let's check in with the third member of our crew. Here is Tina Dixon.
And Copper Mountain has received up to 6 to 8 inches of new snow throughout the day, and that additional snow has really slowed things down on the course, making it very difficult to hit these big jumps. So it became a safety issue. What happened? The athletes got together, they voted, and decided to eliminate the jump portion of the course. So today it's going to be rails only. What does that mean? Well, the game plan changes and the strategy changes out here, Todd.
No question about it. More from Tina Dixon throughout the day. As we take a look at the start list, the 8 women that made the final field, Margot Hackett, a late act from New Zealand. And Tom, as you look at this list with Tina's report, it's going to change things up because some of these women are big specialists.
Yeah, definitely. So that's very interesting. Now that the jump portion of the course is not going to be in play, it's just going to be a strictly jib slopestyle event, and that really opens the door. So a lot of big air specialists out there, but somebody to look out for is Johanna Kille, who won the street style event and is just a master on the rails. But again, the rail features are tough. You need to get to the end of them. You need technicality, so opens the doors now that the jump features are not in play.
So 8 skiers in the final. They've got 3 runs, but only the best run counts. So if your favorite skier goes down on run number 2 and they're sitting in last place, no worries. They can come back on the last run and win the overall. And talk about the judges now. The onus really on them because they focus laser sharp on what you do on the rails.
Yeah, they're going to be watching very closely for these rail tricks. So 3 runs, any opportunity, any of those runs, you need to do a full run. But the technicality and the tricks, here's everything the judges are looking for from progression. So trying new and difficult tricks, how big you go, your amplitude, the variety of tricks you're doing, spinning in different directions. The execution is how you do those tricks. And then obviously the difficulty. So you want to see big spins onto and off of these rails and all sorts of variation to impress those judges.
Tease crossed, I's are dotted. We are set to go. Women's ski slopestyle final, and this will be a rail-specific jam as they drop in 3 runs. Best run counts. Margot Hackett of New Zealand will have the honors of dropping first. So a constantly evolving start list as athletes who have been competing in multiple disciplines have had either injuries or just not feeling it. Margot Hackett's feeling it. The 20-year-old of New Zealand gets the late call into the start list.
Starting things off well with the 270 onto that flat down rail. There's the lip slide. So smooth so far for Margot. The late add, something to speak about is that Kelly Silderu is not in this field. A late drop, dealing with nursing an injury. So Margot getting the start here. Okay. Front side 450, so a good run. Now, see, skipping the jumps there, so just staying safe. And that's the problem with the fresh snow. The fresh snow slows down the speed. So these women not able to get over those jumps, so instead we're focusing on the rails.
So 4 sections of the rails, Tom. We take away the 3 jumps, and you really have to master your craft here because it's going to be a short pull. I'm talking less than 60 seconds to get through this.
Yeah, quick runs, but a ton of technicality here already from Margot, and we're going to see so much more from the women today. A lot of big spins. There she is, the switch 180 off that butter pad, and then into the front side 450 here. So big tricks and a smooth, clean run. It's technical, but unfortunately going is a real tough call. So it's going to be hard for the judges to get her too high up on that leaderboard right off the bat.
77.33 for the Kiwi, so she will set the mark to beat here in run number 1 of 3.
Let's put the hands together out there. Margot Hackett.
Isabel Atkin lives in Park City, represents Great Britain, is an American with citizenship. A little complicated, but she can ride. Flat out, she can ride.
Yeah, definitely. Going for that super unique cannon rail to the quarter pipe landing. So a whole new transitional feature added into the slopestyle course. There's the lip slide as well. The same trick we've seen from Margot. Similar there too with the front side 270 out into the switch 180. Opting for this roller.
Look at this.
Hand drag 360.
Little modified knuckle huck.
Very nice there with the knuckle huck. Hand drag 360 coming over that thing. So opting to not use the rail feature there and instead our sort of impromptu knuckle session.
So she obviously not feeling that last big cannon. Isabel Atkin will take this as a throwaway run or a feeler run. Her sister Zoe already walking away from hardware here from the Dew Tour, finishing 3rd in the modified Superpipe.
Yeah, definitely a family to be reckoned with here. Here's that lip slide, big gap, so jumping from the higher lip. So you can see a ton of different lips out there, a ton of different ways to hit all these rails. Here she is with the hand drag. Oh, a little bit of a butt drag on the landing there, but really cool, creative use of that final feature, skipping the rail in order to do the hand drag over it.
This is Caroline Clare with 2 Americans in the final as she gets set to make the first move. 20-year-old out of Manchester, Vermont, set to drop the mark to beat Margot Hackett, 77.33.
Now, something to speak about Caroline, known for her skills on the jumps. She's got a switch double cork that she brings out and has such good style on it that is something that scores really well. Let's see if she can step it up on the rail-specific line today.
And Tom, you talk about the rails, and the judges love to see you carry it the entire distance or lock on.
Yeah, definitely. When we say lock on or greasing it, perhaps, those terms, something she did not do on that rail there. So when you don't get to the end of the rail, not only is it a deduction, but the way this course is built, you could see she didn't grind the whole rail and then ended up coming into the front side of that butter pad. So it really is important to grind the entire length of the rail with your tricks, not only for your score, but just to complete the course. Here's that front side 270 out, so smooth, just maybe checking a bit too much speed, slowing down a little too much. And here you can see what I'm saying. She comes off the rail early and then into the front side of that butter pad, and just the disappointment. But again, 3 runs, so these women have a lot of opportunities to impress the judges, and it really needs to be a standout run. So she had to bobble up top anyway, so that run was gonna be basically a throwaway from the start.
This is Julia Tano, come to us by way of Lenterheit, Switzerland, just 21 years of age.
There's the K-Fed, very smooth frontside switch up, 270 out. Great technicality so far. Oh, there's the 270, and again, coming off the rail a bit early, so a little deduction there, but still, the pretzel out of the butter pad. Very clean rails, other than that 270 up top.
Coming off early, Tom, as it just goes towards showing control to the judges?
Yeah, it's the balance more than anything. So being able to get to the end of all this metal is the balance factor. So that's what takes practice and skill and repetition to be able to balance and maintain the rail slide the entire way through. So if you're coming off early, it just shows you didn't quite balance that one. And like a balance beam would be, you need to get to the end of that rail, complete a trick, and there's the K-Fed. So super clean there on that feature. Here, the back to 70 out, so this is where she had the slight bobble. You can tell the 270 on, so she's doing a full spin on that rail, just coming off a shade early, the frontside 450, so really technical run, just that minor bobble in the middle. I think it's going to be a good score, but not crazy high.
83.66. We were sitting on a pedestrian 7.733 put up by Margot Hackett. Now it's Julia Tano that has the lead in the three-run format.
So 83, not a bad score, but looking for some of these women to break into the 90s. The winning score today is most likely going to be up in that 90-point score, so I think if she could lock that 270 in and get to the end of that rail, could easily jump up into those high scores.
Youngest competitor in the field, 18-year-old Megan Oldham, come to us by way of beautiful Perry Sound in Canada.
Nice blindside switch up. We call it the blindside switch up when you go completely blind doing it.
Oh! And that is something that we don't talk about, is just the entrance onto the rails, especially with skis. I mean, you're dealing with tips out there, and if they get hung up on anything, it slows your rotation or stops your rotation, and then you are just a flailing fish in the air.
Yeah, nobody wants to be a fish out of water, and that one, just catching the tails on that one. So this is a switch 270. We call it switch tails 270 because you have to lift your tails up over the rail, something she does not complete there. You could see the tail of the ski catch, and just lucky to get her feet under her for the rail slide and to fall in the snow versus falling onto the metal, which obviously is a bit harder of a crash.
If this had been an early December competition, it was a much smaller base of snow that would probably rock hard, and she is fortunate to land in Colorado's finest POW. Julia Tano leads the way, 83.66 right now. Margot Hackett in second, and Izzy Atkin currently holding down third.
Couple heavy hitters left to come in the start list, though.
Maggie Voisin out of Whitefish, Montana, the 21-year-old making the first move, number one.
Yeah, Maggie is known for jumps and rails. Definitely not specifically a jump specialist. I've seen her training recently at Park City. She's got a ton of technicality on the rails and just ready for anything.
Great opportunity now with a score of only 83.66 in the driver's seat.
Very clean on the 270 on. You see her greasing the entire rail. Switch 360 out of that butter putt. Guts has the best run going so far. Switch on. Frontside 630. The biggest rotation of the day out of that final cannon rail. Maggie Voisin, easily the best run we've seen thus far.
Right now saying, wow, what could have been? I had 3 more jumps to go, but just too much pow. Look at this. I mean, her rotations, Tom, and landings were smooth.
Smooth. And here, when I was talking about getting to the end of that rail, you can see
boom,
perfectly centered. Judges love to see you balance just over the boot. And here's the big rotation. Front side 630. Count it. That's almost 2 full rotations out of that rail slide.
How about the sky view?
Yeah, take a look at this. The blind switch up top. So very smooth, very consistent, and a lot of variety. I like the fact that she's got the switch up, she's got a spin on, and a big spin off. So really cool. You can see, look at all those options. From above, it's easy to tell the different lifts, the different takeoffs to those rails. So many different options for these women to choose going after it. 630 and a stomp.
So Maggie Voisin on run number 1 of 3 with a beautiful run. That'll put her into the lead in 89.33 for the American.
Just short of the 90s there, but a big score for Maggie. So, and a lot to build on. With 3 runs to go, you start with an 89. You're off to a great start, and you still got a lot more chances to throw down.
2017 Dew Tour champion Johanna Kili of Norway, the 22-year-old, been around the game for a long time, and she holds on to the rail for the entire way.
To that? So Johanna Kili, definitely the one to watch out for. So talented in the rails. Walked away with the Best Trick Award and the first place position in street style the other night, courtesy of her skills on the medal. And here, that bobble up top was a slight deduction, but still making it through these rails clean. Another 630 out for Johanna.
So Keeley, you take away that bobble early on. This may be, or would have been, the winning run, or leading run, I should say, as Maggie Voisin holds top spot with an 89.3.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Maggie's run was so smooth, executed to perfection. There she gets it to switch, but you can tell it's a little bit loose. And when I say loose, she's bobbling. Her arms are moving. She's a little bit shaky on her skis. The judges love to see you as smooth and comfortable as when you're walking around town. There's the blindside switch up. So gets that clean. Very similar run to Maggie, just the tricks are in a different order. Here she does the 630 as well, coming on to that cannon rail forward, unlike Maggie who came on switch. So a really, really solid rail, but it's tough to say. That bobble up top is definitely going to be a deduction, but still a huge run. It's going to put her up in that top 3 for sure.
Mark to be 89.33. She checks in with a 79.66. Johanna Kili in the conversation, currently in a podium position. Final athlete to drop here in the women's ski slopestyle modified. Maggie Voisin leading the way with an 89.33. It'll be Mathilde Grimaud. Why does that name sound familiar? Well, it's because she picked up a silver medal at the 2018 Olympic Games. Part of that Swiss domination of the top 2 positions.
Yeah, her teammate Sarah Hofflin actually was a drop out of this event earlier, had a crash in practice, so sad to see her go. But yeah, these 2 Swiss girls, always fun to watch. Really clean with the K-Fed up top. 270 off. So much technicality crammed into this run already, keeping it going. Switch 180 out of the butter pad. Mathilde has a great run going right now. What does she have on the cannon rail? Oh, the frontside 450. It looked like her edges caught up on that rail, and she still refused to let go and going for the frontside 450 regardless.
So Mathilde Grimaud making quick work of the upper section, all 4 areas, and speed is not a factor, not a judge criteria, but she made quick work of this area.
Yeah, smooth there, doing that switch up maneuver on the flat down. Here we see the 270 off on that rainbow rail. Look how quick all these rails are together. If you are not perfectly on your line landing switch on that one, you're never going to make it through. And here's that cannon rail where just a little bit squirrely, but still executing the 450 regardless of the fact that her skis are, that back ski, her right ski was gripping on the rail. Looked like it was sticking to it a little bit, so still putting that one down.
So Mathilde waiting for her score to drop. 89.33 put up by American Maggie Voisin, leads after 1 run unless Mathilde Grimaud can unseat her. Remember, they've got 2 more runs to go. Only their best run will count.
Waiting on the score now. The judges likely debating. The run was so technically sound. Other than that slight bobble on the last rail, what sort of a deduction is it?
Not much. A 92. Mathilde Grimaud goes into first place.
So it's Mathilde Grimaud, Maggie Voisin, and Julia Tano. You're 1,
and you
2,
called
3
it.
at the end of round
90s would be Mathilde Grimaud, the last athlete to drop in, lays down the first 90-plus score, a 92, with Maggie Voisin sitting in second place and Julia Tano sitting in third. We'll have the second runs when we return to Copper Mountain. This is Dew Tour 2020, and you're watching the Women's Ski Slopestyle Final. Dew Tour rolls on despite the snow that is falling after one run in the women's ski slopestyle. It looks like this. Switzerland's Mathilde Grameau leads with a 92. Maggie Voisin of the U.S. sits in second with an 89.33, and Julia Tano currently holding down the third podium position with an 83.66. Three-run format, only your best score counts, as we are happy to have four-time Dew Tour champion Tom, as well as Tina Dixon, working down in the corral area. I'm Todd Harris. This is Margot Hackett, currently sitting in fifth place, a late add to the competition, literally last few hours, and it's so good to see her come out and drop a 77.33 in her first run, so she will build upon that, see if she can do a little bit better.
You can tell the snow has started falling even heavier now, so great call by these women to focus on the rails and not going for those jumps. So it is a rail jam, but still having fun. There's the big switch 180 out of that butter pad. Margot coming into this final cannon rail. 450, so similar run to what we saw earlier, looking to clean it up a little bit, I think.
If you're just joining us, this is a slopestyle competition, and these are the which they decided not to go with. Too much slow, not enough speed, can't clear the jump. 37 inches in 72 hours.
So much fun snow to ski. Great for a slopestyle event. There's the big lip slide transfer, so coming from the lip up top down to that rail, so a big drop there to negotiate, and there's the front side 270 out into the switch 180, so a combination there on that feature that we've named the butter pad. And here this final rail shooting out the 450, coming around clean.
Wasn't as technical as some of the other runs we've seen, but it was clean from start to finish, and she carried almost every rail, so she will see a bump, Tom, in her score up to a 78.33 as she stays in fifth.
Yeah, a little bit cleaner, but unfortunately not quite technical enough to break into the 80s, so she's going to stay there for now.
Good shot at the start, and the snow that is falling here at Dew Tour 2020. The new home of the Dew Tour, Copper Mountain, Colorado. Isabel Atkin lives in Park City, dual citizenship, representing Great Britain. Currently sitting on a 63.33, so she's well off the pace of Mathilde Grameau, who has a 92.
So already with that first run in the books, looking to step it up a bit here and add some technicality to the run. There's the 270 out of that up rail. Again, just like Margot, going for that lip slide transfer. Oh, getting the 180 out of there, trying to press it out under the noses, going for the knuckle. Will we see the hand drag? Oh!
Good news, bad news. Bad news is she takes a hard fall. Good news, that's about 8 inches of fresh.
Yeah, look at the snow on the outrun. You can clearly tell why we can't operate on the jump features right now. Just the snow itself, it creates a slowdown for these jumps, and you need to be going blisteringly fast to make it over. So really cool, trying to get a score here by doing a creative line. None of the other women going for this knuckle feature and just the hand drag. You can tell she's trying to get that hand down and then use that dragging of the hand to get her feet back under her. Misses the hand drag and goes down into that fresh powder.
So not an improvement for Isabel Atkins. She can throw that one away, and she'll sit on the 63 for now. Caroline Clare, one of the two Americans in the final, had issues early on her rail session, only sitting on a 22, 20-year-old out of Manchester, Vermont.
Let's see if she can tighten up on the top here. Oh, unfortunately, same thing we saw in run one, coming off that rail a bit early, and that's going to be still going through the rail features here.
Nope. So she makes a turn, tries to go from switch riding backwards to forwards, and she just hit a patch of pow, Tom, and slowed her right down.
Yeah, I think everything was thrown off right off the bat. After that initial 270, when you don't get to the end of one of those rail features, you know there's going to be huge deductions. Really, you're just kind of in a bummer mood after that. It's hard to be confident and really go after it when you've already had a... Here she is doing the frontside 270 out, hoping to land over the other shoulder, so that's where she got a little confused. Here's the blindside 270 out. So it was this feature where she needed to land looking over her right shoulder. By the time she switches,
right
a
there,
little confusion, and you can see the frustration from Caroline.
So body positioning being a factor for Caroline Clare. She does improve her score just a little bit to a 30.33.
Wow, take a look down that view that these women are looking at before they drop. Metal everywhere in every direction. Look at all those rails.
It's Option City here at Dew Tour 2020. This is the women's ski slopestyle finalists just joining us, unable to continue on into the jump features because of too much snow. So what was normally maybe the appetizer of the main meal now becomes the main course in the rail yard.
Going with the K-fit again, so clean. Lots of technicality in that first run, but had that minor bobble here on the 270. Again, just like Caroline, coming off just a shade early on that 270.
That's what Caroline was trying to accomplish there, that butter pad.
Here into the final rail feature, the 630 out. So a big improvement there on the final rail feature, but unfortunately, coming off of that 270 rail early, I think that's going to up her score by 630, but will it be enough to step up toward that Maggie and Mathilde scores? I'm not sure.
Julia Tano currently sitting in a podium position. A couple good spots on here for her, and then a couple where she came off there just a little too early.
Yeah, so you got to get to the end of these rail slides. Here, she did the 450 in run number 1, upping the ante all the way to the 630. So almost a full 2 rotations off of that rail slide.
And Julia's score coming in, it is a slight improvement at 85.66, but she remains in third.
Solidifying that third place spot, but yeah, not breaking in. I mean, Maggie and Mathilde's runs were perfect all the way to the end of those rails, so you're really going to have to do that if you want to crack into the top 3.
So 4 more competitors to go here in run number 2 of 3, Dew Tour 2020. It'll be Megan Oldham, Maggie Voisin, Johanna Kille, and Mathilde Grameau will have the final say here in run 2. Megan Oldham now out of Parry Sound, Canada.
There's the backside switch up, so super clean on that one. Oh, the switch 270.
Ooh, not so much.
So that's where we saw her in run number 1 clip her tails, and then able to get the tails up and over onto the rail, but just a little backseat on the slide, still making it through this rail section. Gets the 450 out at the end, so another bobble on that same down rail feature, but better than crashing. So it's definitely going to be the improvement on her score. I don't think that's going to be enough to crack into that top 3.
She was sitting on a 16.33, and here's where the bobble began.
Yeah, gets the tails up and over, but you can tell just coming off a shade early and then just a little squirrely, able to ride that one out still without falling. So it's going to be a good score, but still not quite what she's looking for.
So a 40 on run 2 for the Canadian will move her into 7th place.
Definitely an improvement, but yeah, gonna need, if she can lock in that switch 270 though, no other woman is doing that one. That switch 270 onto the down rail, really technical. That's gonna score really well if she can lock that one in perfectly.
Maggie Voisin was the leader of the competition until Mathilde Grameau dropped at 89.33. Strong score, Tom. Where does she eke out some more points to possibly take the lead from Grameau in the 92?
You know, she did that run very technically sound. I think if anything, she's going to have to add something to it. She needs to add a level of technical difficulty like that. 450 out of that rail into the 270, so upping the ante on this run. Switch 360 out. I'm not sure how she got that one around. Will we see the 630 again? No.
I think she was off her line, though, on that penultimate rail where you heard her give out a squawk. Was not happy the way she came off.
Yeah, looking to be a little bit more stylish across that butter pad, but upping the ante up top with the 450 out. So quick combination here. Look at that, the 450 out to the right. So spinning to the right on that one and to the left on that bottom feature is great for riding. And just see how quick those rails are. Look how tight everything is together. You have to be absolutely on it in between the rails. They're just not going for the big spin because she was coming off early. So we see what she wants to do, and I think that third and final run is going to come down to see if she can get those 450 and 630 together in a run to challenge Mathilde for that top spot.
The 76.3 does not help Maggie's cause. She'll stay with the 89.3 for now. That'll take us to Johanna Kili out of Norway, currently sitting in 4th place with a 79.66. Before she drops in, let's check in with Tina.
Yeah, Maggie, you still got that first run score. How do you keep that idea of progression in your mind when you guys have conditions like this?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we're definitely used to skiing on days like this. It's unfortunate that we couldn't do a full slope run, but just making the most of it, and thankfully, we still have enough speed for the rails, and we're making it happen.
Yeah, when you found out the jumps were no longer part of it, what was your initial reaction?
I mean, it's always a bummer. I mean, it's not a full slope contest unless it's jumps, but I mean, we still wanted to compete and still wanted to go, and this rail guard was awesome, so we're making it happen.
And you got one more run. Best of luck. Thanks, Maggie.
Thank you.
The pride of Whitefish, Maggie Boyson, currently sitting in 2nd place with an 89.33 on a very stylish and clean first run. Back to the top we go. Johanna Kili out of Norway, 22, sitting on a 79.66, one position out of the podium. But remember, it's a 3-run format, so it doesn't really matter until the final scores are tallied. Your best run counts.
There's that 270 to switch, so much smoother. Switch on, backside 270 out. There's the blindside switch up as well. So a big combination here. 270 out of that one, hitting all sorts of rails on the course, back-to-back 270s out into the bottom feature. 630 gets it. Big improvement. So
I like the creativity.
Very cool line there at the end where she's choosing to hit those last 2 features and doing 270s out. So feet, quick combinations. Here's the switch on up top. So getting that first 270 cleaner than before. Popping over onto this one, doing the switch up, gets it around. And then here she's choosing multiple rails, gets 2 additional rails. So a lot of quick feet there. Big 630. So the biggest spins we're seeing today out of these women doing the 630, bringing it around to switch, no hand drags. Gonna be a good score.
Johanna currently sitting in 4th place. Do the judges bump her up into the top 3? She has a 79.66. She'll need better than an 85.66 to bump Julia Tano out of that 3rd position with 1 run to go.
Judges taking their time on this one because analyzing everything from how she got to the end of the rail, how the style, technicality was, and comparing and contrasting that to what Julia and Maggie did to try to see where she seeds in that if she were to move up. Sitting in 4th, so she can only move up from there. Not quite sure where that one's going to seed her yet.
And the score comes in. Wow, a 93.33.
Huge score there for her. I predicted that would podium going 93. So big run there for Johanna, coming off that big street style win and now sitting in 1st. Wow.
Maggie Boyson, the American, sitting in 3rd now. Mathilde Grimaud in 2nd. And it's Johanna Kili leading the way as Mathilde will have the final say here on run 2 of 3.
Oh, very smooth there with the 270 off. Switch 270 there, so spinning left and right, combinations each way. Very smooth and stylish off the butter pad into the bottom feature. Front side 450, much cleaner. Possibly looking for the 630 as well to keep up with what Maggie and Johanna are doing, but still, where we saw the edge catch on run number 1, absolute perfection. That time.
So she's sitting on a 92, Tom, and I gotta say, I think this might have been cleaner because she carried every rail all the way to the end.
Yeah, very clean. I love how she's doing different directions of spinning. So spinning to the left onto that rainbow rail, then switch right side 270. So showing that she can spin both directions. Here's the front side 450. No bobbles on the rail, no edge catches. You can see she cleans it, gets the grip, 450 out. So it's gotta be an improvement. Enough to jump a whole point up and take over the top spot again from Johanna.
She needs better than 90. 94.33 to go back into the lead. It was just taken away by Norway's Johanna Keeley, and it's a 94.66. There's your answer.
What a game of leapfrog here. Mathilde taking that top spot in that run, which a much cleaner 450 out, and 94.66. That's a big score.
Jumping all over the place as we send it down to team, the new leader.
Oh, yeah, and showing us just a lot of variety. How close was that run to what you wanted to do?
I definitely want to front 6 out of the last one, but I felt a little slow, so I was like, as well just try to land clean in front 4. And otherwise, like, I think what I remember is landing all I wanted, like I wanted.
Going into the third and final run, are there areas that you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do? Goals?
Yeah, for sure, a little upgrade on the last pole jump, yeah.
All right, well, that's what we will look for, guys. Thank you.
Mathilde Grimaud looking very strong. The 2018 Olympic silver medalist in slopestyle leads here at Dew Tour 2020 as the women's ski slopestyle now enters the third and final phase. It's Grimaud, Keeley, and Maggie Voisin top 3.
I'm Jamie Anderson. I grew up in Barcelona,
My name's
Spain.
Maddie Mastro. I'm a snowboarder
I'm
and a free skier from Norway.
And I'm from Westport, Connecticut. First time I stepped on a snowboard, I was 6 years old.
I started skiing when I was 2.
When I was 5 years old, my dad took me up to Big Bear, and I hadn't stopped since.
When I was like 12 years old, I met Tara Dakidis, and I think at that moment, that's all I wanted to do was like, I want to be a pro snowboarder.
I don't know, I didn't really think about wanting to be a professional snowboarder specifically. It kind of just happened.
My favorite part of being a pro skier is to travel around the world with some of my best friends.
The best part is just being able to be outside on the mountains.
I love the mountain. I love snowboarding. You know, it's very lucky that I can do that for life.
There's not a lot to have other women around you is inspiring, and we've got to stick together and push our sport the best we can while helping each other.
We want to see each other do our best. I mean, I would do anything to help them reach a new level of confidence. Like Jamie took me under her wing when I was super young.
And here I am, 29, being super inspired by these young girls who, you know, tap into their power and realize that you can do anything you want to do.
About you, Tom Wallace, but I am always inspired by the women of Dew Tour, empowered by Bumble. We have reached the third and final act of the women's ski slopestyle final as we bring down the curtain on Dew 2020 amidst some serious snow. Mathilde Grimaud just moments ago laying down a 94.66 to take the lead away from Killy, who had just taken it away from her with a 93.3. Meanwhile, Maggie Voisin, one of the two American finals, sits in a podium position at 89.33. Here's the format. You get 3 runs, but only your best run counts, so you can be dead last and still win this competition as Margot Hackett gets set to take launch here on the 3rd and final run.
Yeah, let's see if she tries to change up the run a little bit or opt for anything else or just stick to what she knows. So far, similar to what we saw in run 1 and run 2. There's the 270 out to the switch 180. So coming into the bottom cannon rail here. Oh, looking for the 450, and I think just not getting the rail to the end and then opting for the 270. So looking to try to do the same run we saw, and unfortunately that one not up to snuff from what we saw in run number 2.
So Margot Hackett, the 20-year-old out of New Zealand, a late ad, really this morning added to the final list when she finds out, oh yeah, you're going up against 7 of the best in the business.
Yeah, really just coming out, trying to do her best. Here's the front side 270 out into that butter pad feature, 180 out, and then you can see on the final rail feature coming off a hair early to the left-hand side there, and then not able to initiate and complete the full 450 spin. So definitely going to be a throwaway there.
Margot Hackett will 78.33, which keeps her in 5th place. Isabel Atkin, Izzy set to drop in, needing something big. Looked pretty good on run number 1. You thought she was going to clean up, and then she had issues on run 2. So now it comes down to this for the Park City resident looking for something big here on her 3rd and final.
The only woman going for that cannon rail into the quarter pipe landing. 270 out there. So these 2 runs, Margot's and Izzy's, looking very similar with the lip slide and this trick, the front side 270 out. Tucking, going for the hand drag again. Gets the drag, but then going down.
And
so
that's what happened in run 2.
We saw her land that run in run 1 and got that 63, but then just these last 2 runs all coming down to that final feature, opting out of the cannon rail and for the stylish hand drag maneuver, but bailing on that one again. 270 out up top, dropping down from that big lip down onto that down rail there. Hand drag, missing the hand drag again. So she's even coming back sort of go-kart style, leaning back on the in-run and then just not quite getting her hand down.
Improvement for Izzy Atkin, and she'll stay in 6th. Caroline Clare, currently sitting in 8th place. She's had issues. She needs to put together a full pole top to bottom. Best score so far is a 30.33, but remember, she could launch herself onto the podium. She could launch herself into the lead because it's a 3-run best run format.
Oh, and again.
Shaking her head again.
All 3 runs. She's done that 270 on and come off early to that side on that initial 270. So she's just going to play around on this one. She knows that with that major bobble up top, she doesn't have what it takes to get onto the podium. So there, the big switch 540, showing a little bit of style on course. But yeah, unfortunately, that 270 not working for her today.
Caroline, one of the 2 Americans in the final. We'll still see Maggie Voisin to drop in. Current standings look like this. Mathilde Grimaud leads it all, 94.66. Johanna Killy in 2nd. Maggie Voisin currently in 3rd. And this is Julia Tano, Switzerland. Tano just got bumped off the podium when Johanna Killy dropped that 93.3, which moved her down to 4th place, just behind Maggie Voisin. So to get back on the podium, she needs better than Maggie's 89.33. To take the lead, she needs better than a 94.66.
Smooth again on that initial front side switch up, blind side 270 out. 270 out of that rail. 270 on, a little bit cleaner there, getting further down that rail. Front side 270 out to the pretzel, switch 180 on that butter pad. Going for the big 630, there we go.
So a lot of rotations for Tano as she comes down to the bottom and saves her best. That's the 21-year-old looking to improve upon a score of 85.66.
As we take a look at another look at that one, so definitely an improvement. If anything, the thing we look at is this K-Fed is super smooth. It was that 270 on, still trying to get all the way to the end of this feature. Let's take a look in slow-mo. 270 on, coming off. He's coming off maybe an inch or 2 early, but still locked in for the most part. The 270 and then switch switching the rotation, switch 180 out, and then the final hit, the huge rotation. You can see from down below the snow's falling as she grips the rail with those ski edges and then throwing the big 2 full rotation 630 out.
And Tano's score comes in. It is an improvement, an 87, but just short of Maggie Voisin's 89, so she will not crack the podium, and she will stay in 4th.
I think that's got a lot to do with that 270, just coming off a hair early where Maggie grinded all the way to the end, so hard to place her above Maggie and onto that.
4 athletes to go, representing 4 different countries. First up, it'll be Megan Oldham of Canada, youngest competitor in the field at 18.
Line switch up, coming off forward on that first rail. Switch 270. There's the switch 270 again, but gets it even with the tail catch. 360 out, so linking this one up regardless of catching her tail onto that down rail. Front side 630. Megan, what a run!
Carries it deep. She snatched that run out of the jaws of disaster as she went up there and her tails hit. Oh my.
So close to disaster. And just holding on to it for dear life. Here it is, the front side 270 out. Goes to switch, and here clips her tails, gets a little bit corked, and doesn't hesitate, puts the skis down and still rides out.
Listen to this one more time. This is amazing. Oh, ring the bell.
That is not the sound you want to hear while you're doing a rail in any way, shape, or form, but doesn't hesitate to keep going with the big 630 out at the end. So the only woman doing that switch 270 style down rail, so tough. Clip in the tail, but almost an added element of surprise and style.
Beautiful save for the Canadian. The judges respond with an 83-3. Jumps up from 8th into the top 5. Continues to fall here at Copper Mountain. That has been the theme all week long. Dew Tour 2020 making for some great powder conditions. Unfortunately, it's putting a little bit of a damper on the women's ski slopestyle final as jump features have been removed. Mathilde Grimaud leads the way with a 94.66. Johanna Killian second and Maggie Voisin in 3rd. Maggie taking it all in, literally and figuratively. She's with an 89.33. So for her to move up, she's going to have to surpass Johanna Killian's 93.3 or Mathilde Grimaud's 94.6.
And Maggie being the 3rd from last to go, she's definitely going to be on the podium.
Yep.
The idea is where on the podium. So with the 450 out there and the 270 nailed, she's off to a great start. Much better there on the switch 360 out. Will we see the switch on 630 here? Final hit.
Winds it up.
Oh, so close. Maggie going for the 630 like we wanted, but then just putting a hand down on that landing. So would have been has this huge switch up and the 450 out, so upping the ante and then just gripping and ripping it there. The 450 out, so smooth on this 270. Watch, she locks it in all the way to the end of that rail, and here, the only bobble in the run goes up for it and just can't quite muscle it around. As we take another look, you see her grip, set her arms, and then if anything, maybe set the spin a hair too early, and then not able to quite get the full rotation. Tries to get her feet around the switch, and dragging the hands is going to be a big deduction. That's not going to take over. Go 89.33, but no matter what, she's safe. She's in that 3rd place position.
Maggie Voisin sent us back to Montana, so the podium in 3rd place. Now the battle for 1st and 2nd. It'll be Mathilde Grimaud and Johanna Killy. Mathilde will have the final say. Johanna goes next. And Johanna's run, number 2, was ridiculous. A 93.33. I think she even surprised herself and dropped a little Norwegian. I think she dropped an Ufta. Either Ufta or Ishta.
Could be. There's that 270 to switch again. So gripping the rail. Then the switch on, blindside 270 out. switch up there on the down rail. This is the most unique rail line. Of course, getting so many hits in, popping that one to switch, possibly looking for the 270 instead.
Oh, she got bucked off right before.
And with that, that's not going to be enough. That means Mathilde is going to take the win here today.
Oh, it was so close as she got to the end, Tom, and it shows it happens to pros just like amateurs. And folks, Weekend Warriors, as she was approaching the rail, it was the entrance or the little kicker before she got to that final feature.
Yeah, so let's take a look. Here's Mathilde Johanna gets this blindside switch up. These next two 94.66 to hold on for the top spot.
Coaches up top celebrating that amazing run, 94.66, just ahead of Johanna Kili of Norway, and Maggie Voisin of the USA will join them on the podium with an 89.33. So congratulations to all the athletes who adapted to the changing weather conditions as the slopestyle now is complete. Mathilde Grimaud, the winner. Johanna Kili in second. Maggie Voisin finishing on the podium in third place.
Yeah, great day though. So much talent in the field. The women all skiing really good. That battle for the top three was really, really tight with Julia Tano also so close there with the 87. Megan Oldman coming in at the end with that big 83. So, wow, great day of slopestyle competition on the jib portion of this course.
Really challenging, though, because it was until about 20, 30 minutes before the final started that they got the word that it would just be the rail sections and not the jumps. And I know for a lot of these athletes, it's hard because they are jump specialists, and that's where they make their bacon. That's where they get their big points.
Yeah, the jump section of the course is always the highlight because it's big and exciting, and there's flips and spins, but leaving it to the jibs only today, you had to be versatile. You had to be capable to put it down on the rail section, which usually doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion. So
it's like an appetizer.
You know what? Appetizers are sometimes the best part of the meal.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We went full tapas.
Johanna Kili, wow, that second run was amazing. So stepping up there, so fun to watch this weekend in street style as well, killing it on the rail. So great day for her, great weekend for her.
With a 94.66, the birthday girl yesterday out of Switzerland, Mathilde Grimaud.
So Mathilde celebrating all weekend long with a birthday and now a Dew Tour title to go along with her Olympic silver medal. It's amazing. You look at this field, we have competitors from Great Britain, New Zealand, the U.S., Switzerland, Canada, Norway, and they all put on an amazing show despite some challenging conditions.
So much snow falling today, but despite all of that, the final results here, laying it down on the jib section for the women's ski slopestyle final.
Thank you. One right here, please. Thank you.
Congratulations once again to all the athletes that ventured here to Copper Mountain, Colorado as the progression continued on. More than 150 athletes, Tom, representing 20 different countries.
So much talent all weekend. We saw tons of snow, some blue skies on Saturday, and a ton of amazing action. These women closing it down today on the jib section, just laying down the big spins like this 630 and tons of rail technicality in the women's ski slopestyle final.
For the 12th consecutive year, the Dew Tour did not disappoint as Copper Mountain, the host mountain, did a fantastic job. Johanna Kili stepped it up when she had to. Mathilde Grimaud stepped it up even more.
Yeah, Johanna coming through with a heater of a run here, putting it all down. You can see the snow was flying, but still no issues, going for the big spin out of the cannon rail, trying to match Maggie Voisin, and then stepping it up above her into that second place position. But Johanna just didn't have quite enough in that third and final run to take over Mathilde's lead again.
Mathilde Grimaud with a victory lap at the end after already securing the win with a 94.66. Got the whole playground to herself.
Great day for her. So consistent on the rail with the switch up top. Then these two unique spins going to the left and then spinning to the right, showing the judges she has the variety and the technicality needed to play. Here's that 450, so not as big of a spin as those other girls, but with those big switch ups and the big rotations, more than enough. The 94.66, the highest score of the day.
That puts a wrap on the 12th consecutive year of Dew Tour action. Once again, congratulations, Mathilde Grimaud, as she gets the final victory, and our thanks to the good folks at Copper Mountain, SBT, and Woodward. For Tom Wallace and Tina Dixon, I'm Todd Harris saying so long from Copper Mountain.
Dew Tour is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Do the Dew. Toyota. Let's go places. Bumble. Make the first move.
Come out, wherever you are.